What we all love about the Fabric Awards is that they offer such a fascinating insight into the current trends in colour, pattern and texture. The hundreds of designs that are submitted set the tone for features we plan for the forthcoming issues. As a team, we create over 300 pages of decorating content a year, 350 if you include the trends, almost all of which is shot on location either in Britain or sometimes abroad, most recently in Venice. Needless to say, it's a hugely important part of what we do because it allows us to create stories that are not only in tune with the current mood, but which are also completely unique to Homes and Gardens.
My overall impressions of the designs today have been that they're very eclectic, very colourful, larger scales. There are lots of illustrators that are now becoming textile designers and also graffiti artists. There's an Englishman, I think, working in New York for Kirkby Design who's done a very eclectic bunch of designs and would look fabulous on just a single chair within a room.
There's a huge variety and I think that's really exciting. I'd rather that than feel like there was a really strong direction that was being taken by all the fabric designers. There was a period where it was pure geometrics and I think that's past, and possibly the ikat fabric phase is also waning, but with a new interest possibly in antique textiles, so there's a kind of tribal motif that maybe was coming out more than I've seen historically in collections.
Mostly a huge dichotomy of styles, a lot of bright colour, joyful patterns, all sorts of things that I've noted in particular with embroidered fabrics that I think are significant this year.
Good collections all round, the wovens are good, and we have to remember all those small little mills in this country, in the Hebrides, in Ireland and in Scotland, and some of those woven fabrics and tweeds that they make are very necessary in a room.
Augusta Ackerman had a great range of wallpapers that were really beautifully hand-drawn, which I think is something that's often lost in the new digitally printed papers. And I thought her use of colour and palette was fantastic in the non-drawn designs as well. So I was really excited about her. We have a wallpaper business ourselves, so I'm really sympathetic to people's ability to kind of mix the hand-drawn and the colour elements in an effective way, and I think she does that really well.
It's the designers who are the ones to watch for the future, and I'm glad to see that Pippa Cayley has done very well this year. She's a very good designer, has now brought her own fabric collection out and works well with the Pliqué. She's a Royal College of Art student, and I think that we should be backing our young designers as much as possible.
In particular, the designs from the Christopher Farr stable. I love his Raoul Duvy inspired patterns in single colours because you get, in effect, the work of an artist for a fee that is manageable instead of completely out of the question. A lot of mixing of colour and the best designs. It's always interesting when a group of us are working together with very different instincts, experience and fabric usage. But when a fabric comes on the table that's one of very high design quality, we all instantly notice it, take note.
The most wonderful thing about today is that I'm seeing all the latest collections, all the best fabrics, and by the end of the afternoon I'm going home with a great big sack full of fabrics which I'm dying to use. And we're just doing the Whitby Hotel in New York. It's a new build, and so I'm taking home actually some Nina Campbell fabrics, some Mark Alexander fabrics, some Kirkby fabrics, some wonderful weaves, and they're all going to be seen in the hotel.
The Fabric Awards are an essential part of our DNA, and one of the reasons I think Homes and Gardens plays such a key role for consumers and designers.